The problem with process documentation is that it is not one thing. You should never document a process until you have really refined that process and got it very, very lean. What do I mean by that? Let me give you a couple stories. Years ago, we worked with a manufacturer here in Tempe. They had 16 people in their customer service department, and we put Fitbits on every single person, and we tracked what they did on a daily basis. In that company, each of the 16 people walked about 16,000 steps per day in their customer service job. Now, that was quoting people, that was giving them estimates, that was checking on the status of orders, figuring out deliveries, all of those kind of things. We were hired to come in and document the process to make it easier to train on. What we learned very quickly was that the process was so inefficient, was so egregiously full of waste in multitudes of different ways, that if we had actually done what we were hired to do and document that process, we would have made the perfect shit sandwich. That's exactly what we would have done. We would have took, I believe it was a 57-step process, and we would have documented it, and we would have made videos, and we would have done all of these things and put together a training manual and all of this stuff to document how to do the work as shittily as possible. But instead, we refused to do that. What we did is we followed the DMAIC method of Lean and Six Sigma. Define what the problem is. Well, we have a big customer service department. It seems like it's very inefficient. Let's measure what the people are doing right now. That's why we put the Fitbits on them. We went from 16,000 steps with 16 people a day to 1,600 steps with 4 people a day after going through this. We then measured all of the things that they did. How long does it take for them to do step 1? How long does it take for them to do step 2? And I'm talking literally sit there with a stopwatch, watching them do it. Then we run a PERT analysis. What is a PERT analysis? Well, it looks at, okay, we have to assume that what we observed was probably close to perfection because it was being observed. Then we have to create a deviation chart from that. We have to figure out what the actual amount of time is, how many times does it occur per week, per day, per month, per year, calculate all the labor costs associated with that. So we've defined, we've measured, then we analyze it. What does analyze mean? Now we actually do a process map that shows all those times in there, and then we run this through multiple layers of analysis. We look at other industry standards. We look at historically a company of that size, I think it was about $20 million. How many customer service people do they have from our experience? How many customer service people should we have? What tasks should they be doing? We actually found in that process that 20% of the revenue of that company was around a single product, but about 80% of the labor in the company was associated with that single product. And when we took that product separately and we broke it out into its own map, what we discovered was all of the losses of the company. The company was actually losing money. 100% of the losses were associated with that single product. So what did we do? We stopped selling